But just swiftly onto more wrestling news, and that which actually ties quite nicely into our podcast last week, because the band that I introduced you last week during the Listen to This segment, Wargasm, do you remember them?
I do indeed.
Yes. They have now been confirmed to be soundtracking the return of NXT UK. So they're going to relaunch the NXT UK brand, and it's going to be soundtracked by fast-rising UK metalers Wargasm. The new look show, featuring the very best of the UK wrestling scene, will broadcast from a new specially built complex at the BT Studios in East London, and will feature Wargasm's riotous track "God of War" as its official theme.
I like that name.
Now,
being a gamer myself.
I'm not sure if that's actually out yet. Well, I'll have to check around Spotify, but the stuff I've heard from Wargasm so far is just perfect for this brand. You know, and Triple H has always been a big metal guy. And
a Hammers fan, as I was known as well. And
yeah, weirdly a West Ham fan, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You know, his main weapon is the sledgehammer. Makes me think if Brian Pillman was still alive, he'd support Arsenal.
It makes me think that
because Pillman's got a gun and everything.
Makes me think that Rey Mysterio is a Spurs fan because he looks like a chicken.
Brilliant. Oh dear. So they actually said, Wargasm, I'm reading for the article here. We came to our manager and said at the beginning of the year, we want to do something with WWE. Said the vocalist / bassist Milky Way. And I think the energy for a lot of metal gigs and wrestling events is the same, concurred Sam Matlock, who's the other member of the band. If you're doing this kind of rock music, a little more groove-based, it dips into nu metal and stuff like that. It's built for walk-on music, which is true, really. If you think about, particularly the early 2000s WWF, as it was known, which was kind of my era, / Ruthless Aggression, it was entirely, all the pay-per-views were entirely soundtracked by bands such as Saliva and Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock. You know, nu metal has always kind of taken priority in the wrestling world, and I think it's because of the aggro energy of it. You know, I wouldn't necessarily call Wargasm nu metal. I feel like they're you know, well, I said
like
last episode they were
thing.
Prodigy mixed with sort of like Raw Blood or something. I don't even know. It's very visceral, dance orientated kind of sound. But it's definitely metal, you know.
Yeah. No, I see that. But happy that NXT UK is coming back. I loved watching the Takeover Cardiff when I was there. That was just such a good pay-per-view. I think probably my favorite from that was the triple threat with it was like the triple threat tag team with the Welsh tag team, the English tag team, and the Scottish tag team. It was brilliant.
Now is the Welsh tag team, does that consist of your boy Flash Morgan Webster?
It does. It was Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews in that one.
Mark Andrews is brilliant. I saw him in action in NXT last year at Download, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
and he looked like a very good athlete.
Oh, he's good. A lot of them come from that that neck of the woods in Cardiff. I think
is there a
Dragon
wrestling
Pro
school there? Is that what it is?
That's Dragon Pro, and I think compared to other wrestling promotions I've been at, trained at, it's a much more fairer place to train, which doesn't really take advantage of anyone like I've had the experience of in the past. Sadly to say, and it kind of sort of ruined my experience of wrestling in that sort of sense. So that's why I don't really train anymore. So play me the world's smallest violin.
Well, so just going back to this the music that NXT has been offering. So these are the sort of bands that have been involved with NXT's brand. So we have Slipknot with All Out Life that was being used for it?
It was.
Code Orange.
Yeah.
And obviously Code Orange also do the Fiend's theme tune on the main roster. Creeper, Power Trip, and Ghost.
These are all big names.
Bands that are the sort of the apex of metal and hard rock at the moment, and they're all being used to soundtrack NXT. Which I've got to take my hats off to Triple H for this, because he's not always been my favorite in terms of as a wrestler. My era was the Triple H power trip era, where
Ruthless
he
aggression.
was the ruthless aggression era, where he was just perpetually at the top of the card, putting down other talent.
The only
But
reason you're
now he
champion is
seems to
because
have.
Triple
Now he
H doesn't
seems
want
to
to
have.
work Tuesdays.
Sorry, what was that?
The only reason you're champion is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
Yeah, that was Paul Heyman to JBL.
Yeah.
One night stand. One of my favorite quotes of all time. But he seems to have developed Triple H into a very astute business person. He genuinely loves metal. He went to Lemmy's funeral and spoke at Lemmy's funeral because obviously his theme tune is Motorhead.
Mm-hmm.
So I just love the fact that he's given all these up and coming metal band. Well, I guess Slipknot obviously isn't an up and coming metal band, but bands like Power Trip, Code Orange, Creeper, all these bands that are kind of at the sort of the epicenter of the new metal music movement. He's giving them a platform with NXT,
Mm-hmm.
and I do think it's fantastic. And yeah, hats off to Wargasm.